All right. Hey, welcome. Ignorant Takes Podcast. As always, uh, your host, Marquise, Jabron, Ronnie Brown. How you doing on this Saturday afternoon?
I'm all right, can't call it good weather.
Well, if you don't know, on this Saturday, the 24th, two games have been played on both for both the Western and Eastern Conference Finals. It is 2-0s in both areas. Minnesota losing both games in OKC, and New York, Indiana winning both games in New York. So, um, the Eastern Conference Finals looks a lot more highly contested than we kind of maybe anticipated a little bit. Um, Western Conference, it looks like kind of one team is not really playing with a lot of urgency. Um,
At all.
yeah, double-digit games on both or for both games. The second game was a lot closer. Um, you know, media swept. I mean, if you're living under a rock, then I don't know what to tell you. But the conversation piece has been SGA and this foul baiting. Brunson hasn't been getting as much of the brunt of that. My thoughts is because he plays in New York, so which is the biggest media market in the nation. So they're trying to hide him a
Facts.
little bit. They both kind of deserve it, even though they do it a little differently. Um, it is kind of crazy to see people who are initiating contact get calls in their favor when the rule books clearly state like offensive player initiating the contact, it's a no call unless a legal touch happens. Then whatever. But the second game was definitely, as far as for Minnesota, we'll just go get into it. OKC and Thunder. The first game was definitely it was terrible. And to find out that it was literally one ref for all 13 of SGA's calls. I'm not saying they were all questionable. Um, I would say
Yeah, you can say they was questionable.
the non-questionable ones were of the minority for sure. I'll say that. Whereas the questionable ones were definitely in the majority. And then there was some that were 50-50s. It depends on the angles. It could have went in one way, but they were kind of touchy fouls for sure. Especially being that the playoffs have been like physicality is back in in NBA, and that's one thing that fans, media, casuals have been like praising about this playoffs is that physical basketball is being allowed to be played. Guys are allowed to like both offensively and defensively be physical with each other, and they're not getting all these touch fouls. And then we get to the goddamn Western Conference Finals, and all of a sudden you can't breathe around SGA. Like it's crazy. Like and when you look at the game, both games as a whole, the first game was terrible. The Thunder were able to guard and with a lot of physicality, and then the Wolves were able to guard the rest of the Thunder with physicality. And then when it came to SGA, he basically had a different set of rules. In that second game, there was still some questionable calls here and there, but it was actually on both sides. You and I talked about it. Um, there was one on Alex Caruso that fouled him out of the game that really should have went to SGA. That was really a touch foul. It kind of hit him after the fact in a sense, like he was going for a layup or a dunk or something, and kind of got hit on the arm after the ball was released. But the person who made that contact was SGA, and Caruso kind of hit his lower body some. But it was more of a touch foul for SGA and definitely a foul more of a touch foul on Caruso and definitely a foul on SGA. But they called
Yeah,
it for Caruso. He got fouled out um and whatnot. And then
you can say one. There was one
yeah,
earlier too, though, when Shay got to the lane, did a floater, and Rudy got called for it, but it was after the fact. Shay already had released it,
yep,
and he came to the ground, and he fell into Rudy's hip, and Rudy was already contested, got back down, and
mm-hmm,
Shay just after the fact was able to land, and then his momentum took him into Rudy,
definitely.
and they still called it, and it's kind of like
Yeah,
he
we gotta. I
technically
think we have to
landed
stop calling
already.
stuff. I think those things should be reviewed. Like, the refs should review it. New York should have some type of earpiece on the guys or something. Like, there should be a light or something from New York or headquarters that says, "Hey, go ahead and review that," because we want to see if that was actually a foul. It may slow the game up some, but guys are getting free throws because that's a shooting foul. He was in a shooting motion. Now, if it was on the ground, that's one thing. It's a probably if they're not unless they're in the bonus, then they're probably not shooting. But that should be something that should be reviewed. I mean, there was another one that kind of was. Ant had it happened on Dort where Ant had his right hand on his hip, kind of, but he didn't extend his arm. They were in the post. Now, by rule, he is supposed to release his hand, but he
Mm-hmm.
never extended it, so he actually didn't alter the shot and Dort lost control of the ball. I think Ant maybe tipped it with his left hand a little bit, but Dort
Yeah,
lost
that's the one
control
I
of the
was telling you
ball.
about. Yeah.
Yeah, and I could see why the refs would call it by the rule. Yes, Ant is supposed to release his right hand, but in all actuality, it wasn't true illegal contact because it didn't alter the shot. I could see if he extended his arm and then Dort's like torso kind of went abnormal and then he missed a shot. Okay, understandable, but I get it by the rule. Again, I'm not one of those fans. I'm a realist. I'm not one of those guys who are like, even though my team is on the front end of those calls, I'm not going to be like, oh, these are all BS. No, there's some things that are BS. There's definitely some things that are not. And then there's things that are in between that are 50-50 based on what angles you're seeing it, based on the rule book. I'm willing to hear a debate, and I'm not going to sit here and go, no, that's crap. No, let's I'm a fair fan. So, but the second game was definitely refereed better, officiated, excuse me, better than the first game by far. Well, again, like I said, it was reported that it was really one ref. The other two refs were doing their jobs. They weren't calling the actor. I mean, SGA shouldn't be MVP. He should be
They were pretty
Oscar
good.
nominated.
This nigga just said he Will Smith Denzel. That's crazy.
Man, Jesus Christ. SGA, I mean, I said it somewhere. SGA is as if Harden, Bron, Luca, uh who else was a foul baiter out there? I don't know. A bunch of these foul bait guys who had a baby is SGA, man. The wind blew the wrong way. He's falling on. He's a big. I said it to you. He looks like a deer out there. He looks like a baby deer. Learn how to walk when he's dribbling some of these times and getting foul calls. So, uh,
And all I got to say is they gotta play better in the first half. If Ant and them don't play good in the first half, this game might be over because they're literally losing the third quarter each of these two games. I think the deficit is like plus 25 to the Thunder
mm-hmm.
right now in the third. So it's like,
Yeah, and the Thunder's coming out blitzing. I mean, it's kind of like that the dynastic Warriors team where they were really good in the third quarter. Um, and they were super good in the third quarter, and they would just blitz teams, and then they could
hmm
coast in the fourth. But I think Minnesota's definitely the better fourth quarter team, and I truly think that it's a game plan because I haven't seen OKC like this in the third quarter like that for the other series, um,
yeah,
or all
yeah,
year. So I think that they have a point of emphasis on the third quarter, played with a sense of urgency to try to get a big lead before the fourth because they feel that. I mean, if it really comes down to nitty gritty, the worst fourth quarter team in the playoffs that's left is the Thunder.
yeah,
The
which is
best
true.
the best two teams are probably Minnesota and Indiana. New York, it's debatable between Minnesota and Indiana because they have also had some big comebacks in the fourth quarter. But very clearly, we're seeing like Indiana's kind of holding their own. But last night came close. Indiana was leading that game pretty handily a little bit, and then that boy Brunson, start coming out, start turning up. But the Indiana's playing them way different. I think it was Draymond and Baron Davis. I seen them talk about it where they were applauding how Rick Carlisle has Indiana trapping Brunson in the fourth quarter, and they're not
hmm
allowing him to bring the ball up essentially because it's just like ISO Joe. Joe Johnson in the fourth quarter, he didn't care what nobody was doing for three quarters, but in the fourth quarter, give me the damn ball, get out the
Yeah.
way.
He's like, I'm gonna will us away. So it's like, I
Yeah,
don't care what you're doing. Give me a stop and I'm gonna go get us something. So yeah, they're definitely, like I said just before, I just speaking of that, if Minnesota don't play a good first half,
yeah,
that third quarter, they let them get blitzed in that third quarter again, this gonna get real ugly again.
yeah, yeah.
Like they can't lose this.
I feel. I mean, we've said it privately that Minnesota doesn't look like a team playing words. Like And I'll say this too. There's a two form to this third quarter thing. I think the second thing is Thunder look drained. Like they've looked really good, but if you watch them, they're constantly hands on the knees, and Minnesota's a lot like allowing them to get win. Um, I predicted this myself because they haven't been this far, so they don't know what it's like to have to play at this level, conditioning and all that
Conditioning
stuff.
does play in the factor,
So they
but that's
definitely look drained. Now they're definitely obviously winning these games. It's clearly not really a factor yet. But if Minnesota plays with some urgency and changes the tempo a little bit, I don't want them to just try to run quick offense like Indiana does. No one can do that. They're the best team at doing that. They still can get in their offensive sets, but get across the half court line a little faster. Force Thunder to think
you
and
can
panic a
still
little
play at
bit.
a medium tempo. You don't gotta
Yeah.
play full speed, but you can still be medium
No, and
tempo.
change it
And
up. Stop just dribbling and walking the ball up every possession, it seems, other than, fast break when they're on steals or something like that. But they need to stop walking the ball up all the time. You need to kind of sprint it up sometimes. Sometimes you need to jog it up, get a little pace, and fluctuate it.
man,
Because what that
you
does,
can
the Thunder are the best, right ahead of Minnesota. These are the two best defensive teams in the playoffs left throughout the whole playoff. They've been the two best defensive teams. You need to stop allowing them to get into their half court defense. They're literally the best in the league at half court defense right now. So force them to speed up some, force them to panic, even if you're going to pull it back and then get into your offensive sets. But Minnesota doesn't seem to be playing with urgency. Now, this game 3 is pivotal. To make it a series, they have to win this game. Obviously, they can't lose game 3 and be down 3-0. No team in the history of NBA has ever come back from a 3-0 deficit. But it also will give them some life to say, yeah,
right, MJ.
yeah, exactly.
Tell them. Yeah, tell them. Yeah, tell them they play bad. It's over. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, oh yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
so anyway,
Hot takes by MJ.
yeah, thanks by MJ, our guest. We didn't know it, but we got a guest today. They just have to play with urgency. They have to win this game 3 to one, prove themselves that they can win. I don't think their aunt's going to let them get a sweep at all. He said it a couple years back. He will never get swept again. It's not going to happen. And I
We can
believe
say
him.
that. We can say that, but one man can't stop the niggas from getting swept. They as a team are playing terrible.
That is
It's playing
absolutely
good.
true. Yeah.
It's played good. It's
Yeah.
just you. You can still play. You can play excellent and still get swept, my boy. It
And he
ain't
just
about
proved,
you.
and I think the way he got started, yeah, he shot 1 for 9 from 3, but he had 38 points, and I think he proved not just to himself, but to the Thunder, like, you guys can't guard me. You guys can't stop me at all. Like, if I want to get to the basket, you guys think this defense is going to help you. All this help defense is going to stop me. So I like that mentality. He definitely doubled his shot output compared to game 1, which was 13 compared to 26 in the second game. So yeah, they got to play with urgency though. They can't just be mauling around. The Thunder is not going to lay down just because the Thunder's new to this. Don't mean they ain't true to it. So
Exactly. They're not gonna give up.
No, they're not going to give up. But they do. If you look at it, they do look a little burnt here and there.
Yeah,
And if
but
Minnesota ups the tempo a little bit, they're not going to allow them to get those breaths. Which then, when they get that second and third win, that's when they start going on those runs.
exactly.
So you got to attack them where they're weak.
That's why I said they got to get that. They got to win that first half and get up because
Yeah, for sure.
that third quarter is where they're losing it, and then they're trying to scramble in the fourth quarter to come back, and it's just like, bro, you wasting too much energy, and y'all already are losing that third quarter. So like, why don't y'all if y'all can get a decent solid lead in the first half, it evens out a little bit in that third quarter to where if y'all keep it manageable, y'all not struggling in that fourth quarter.
Right.
Y'all down 15-20 going in the fourth. Now you wasting all your energy. So by the time you get it to about 15 or get it down to 10, couple minutes left, you tired. So it is what it is. But if they lose this, it's done.
Yeah, for sure. Moving on to the Eastern Conference. Like I said,
Yeah, MJ. Yeah, MJ.
Snooze
Ah,
fest.
that's,
East Coast
yeah,
snooze fest. East
that's how
Coast
he.
snooze fest, I
That's
guess.
how he feel about it.
The most overrated player in the NBA is Phil.
Underdog. Put that on a t-shirt. I love it.
Really?
I love it,
Daddy
MJ.
talk.
I love it.
Okay, okay, okay.
He talking that talk.
All right. So, uh, I want to kick your butt. When Daddy talks, it's not your turn to talk. You gotta let each other talk. It's not your show. It's
I gotta
Daddy's
clip that.
show.
I gotta clip that. That's go viral.
Yeah, it's Daddy's show.
Uh,
Oh, now you want to give me hugs? No, you bit. No biting.
oh
No
man.
biting. Okay. No biting. You want your snake? Yeah. Yeah. Anyway. Oh, and so all right, back to it. Indiana, New York. Indiana's got both games, and no, he's upset. I turned around.
Mm-hmm. Cause he gonna hit you with that. Ah.
Have kids, they said. It'll be fun, they said. No,
Oh
what are
man,
you
bro.
going after?
You good
Leave
fool.
my controller alone, you heathen. I had to find my damn pat in the back. Hey, ooh, what's that? Oh, okay. All right, here we go. So, Indiana, New York, 0-2 in favor of Indiana. Both games in New York. They inked out really a win. Actually, both times. I mean, they went to overtime again. Won. Hallie hit with that Reggie Miller celly.
He almost sold the bag though,
He
because if
did
they would
almost
have
sell it. He thought it was a
he
three. He thought it was a
no he
three.
KD'd that mug with the big toe, and then you went and hit the Reggie Miller choke signal. But if y'all lost in overtime, boy, you was getting fried all day the next day if y'all would have lost in overtime after doing that celebration.
Right.
Like you already KD big toed it for the like, you know what I'm saying? And you got blessed because you hit the back of the rim and that motherfucker bounced all the way up and then it rolled straight in. I said, oh my God. But either way, New York is trash for blowing that lead though in 2 minutes. Like,
Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, and they've been on the other side of that. They've been
yes.
the team that have been getting leads, gaining leads back, coming back in the last,
Yeah.
2 minutes of a game, down by how many ever points.
Bruh. Yeah,
So
they've been walking shit down. And
yeah.
so that's why I was like,
But
they got
also
they
teams
self
haven't
walk
been
down.
doing what Indiana's have been doing. Is they've been trapping Brunson. So they get the ball out of his hands. If he's got to be ball dominant to thrive, get the ball out of his goddamn hands, man.
Yeah, true.
Um, Rick Carlisle might be the best coach. Is probably the best coach left in the playoffs right now. I mean, he's a championship winning coach. The only one that has a ring, and it wasn't an assistant doing it. Nobody. Everyone else has a ring being assistant because I think Finch was in Toronto for that year.
Hmm.
Obviously, Tibbs with Boston. I have to look up on the Thunder's coach. I can't remember if he was assistant somewhere and got a ring, but he's the only head coach that's won a ring as a head coach and did it with Dallas in that the choker year for Bron. Where he had he was clearly not the GOAT because he ain't never been. Anyway, uh,
Anywho,
anywho, Broad fans
I
coming out of the woodworks now
like I
like
said, man,
termites.
I don't know. I like I said, I don't. They're Indiana is doing the same thing. They're playing like I told you before in the early. They're playing as a team, and they're literally having. Hallie is stepping up in big moments. They've had Nimhard the previous game. He came down the stretch, hit a bunch of clutch shots. Not Nimhard. Was it? what is it? Neesmith. That's what it is.
Naismith, yeah.
Neesmith. He played clutch in that going down that stretch. He hit a career high 8 threes, but down that stretch he hit like 5 threes going into like
Yeah,
the last two
he was
minutes, the
banging
last
up
two
there.
minutes
Yeah.
and overtime. He was literally like cold, knocking down, and I was like, he's stepping up. Ben Shepherd last night played well for them too. So like the unsung heroes is playing well for them that people are just like, oh, this team is nah, they stepping up in the right times.
Hmm.
It's not one person. The only consistency they've been having is Pascal Siakam. Like
And he
Hallie's
played
had it,
terrible game too. He didn't play really good at
yeah.
all.
He literally didn't, but like he's been majority consistent. Hallie's been up and down when it comes to like his points, but like he's always gonna make sure the offense gets going. But that's just what it is. Like I said, it's they need more from Cat. Gotta really go step up. Cat really ain't done shit. To be honest with you,
I mean, he's even been sad.
he got sacked because he's been playing like crap. He was playing like terrible that game. Like, mm,
He was sad. They're calling Tibbs the Darvin Ham right now. I'm like, Cat hasn't played
mm,
well. Of course he's sitting now. Why is he
like
sitting
I get
Josh
it.
Hart? I don't know.
Like
But this
I
is the
get it
reason that
because
Minnesota got rid
of
of. But also, isn't it funny that both Julius Randle and Cat have been playing bad in the both set in the same exact series on the respective sides?
yeah,
This and they both have been hooping the whole play. Well, Julius Randle more than Cat. Cat had some off games here and there, but
yeah.
they both have really been hooping until now. So I think who's gonna win the game. Who wins their games if those two play well? Like if those two play well, I think the New York has a strong chance, and Minnesota have a strong chance of winning their games.
Yeah, but that's all it is. They hooping. It's just that's all it is. I just feel like Cat ain't played well. He just hasn't. He has to play well. And when he plays well, everything else works for him. I get the whole thing where it's like, yeah, take out Mitchell Robinson because yeah, he was going 1 for 2. They're fouling him on purpose. But Mitchell Robinson's a great rebounder. Brittany, he was playing good. The man just they just knew to do that.
I think they should use that to their advantage and try to get in the bonus. And
Exactly.
then
That's what I was thinking. You use
yeah,
it to
if they're
your
gonna call them on
advantage.
purpose, get them in the bonus then, and then get them out the game, and then now every foul they're at the line.
Exactly. So you guys got to use it to your advantage. Yeah, but he was, it's not like he was going 0 for 2 most of the time. He was 1 for 2, 1 for 2. So like he's still at least getting some points out of it. Y'all could see him fouling and then he don't get no points. Now you're like, damn, at least he was scoring. So, like I said, he's a good defender. He's a great shot blocker and he gets rebounds. He hustles. So like at that moment, I don't mind sitting Cat. Cat was playing terrible, bro. Like you can't call a spade, bro. He was playing terrible, and he sat, bro. That happens. But he had when he plays dominant, they're good. The offense looks better. Everything looks better. But when he's playing terrible, you got to do something else. It's the same thing with Nas Reed. Nas has not played both games good at all. So I still got Pacers in 7, but this shit might get real ugly if they lose this one.
Yeah, because Indiana plays way better at home than they do away. So
Come on, man. Shout out to my cousin TJ.
and that
Boy was
boy,
out there going.
yeah, we
Boy
talked
was
about
out there.
there's three guys that are like underrated that kids should be watching for sure. And hold on. Oh yeah, get it. Um, there's three guys: Lou Williams, Jamal Crawford, and T.J. McConnell. Like those are guys, pure hoopers in the sense of like they work hard, undersized guys in a sense, other than Jamal Crawford, but Jamal could cross you up out your shoes. Um,
I just
Lou could
say
go get a
we talked about
bucket.
Luke going
TJ just found
Luke
his
need the
niche.
fundamentals to get you the
Yeah,
bucket. But
but
TJ, you ever
TJ,
want to watch
man,
somebody beside if you ever watch an underrated defender, watch TJ, bro. TJ's an underrated defender. Like if you want to really watch like young cats that's undersized and you want to be a pest on defense, what two players you really should watch? You should always watch Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday is up there, but watch TJ, bro. TJ's so underrated defensively. You don't
yeah,
and don't get credit. Don't get enough credit.
no, and
And
he's been doing. been doing it since I think high school. Found his
Yeah,
niche so he can get a scholarship. Did it all the way through college, and got an NBA spot just because of it. Because he doesn't stand out like his mid range is nutty.
yeah.
But other than
He can
that,
hoop.
like he can
He's
hoop.
a
He's like a
true
pure
hooper,
guard too. He's a
but
pure guard
yeah,
at
he
that.
looks to
So
pass, and all of a sudden you leave him open, he'll knock that hole down and like go from there. But like, yes, if you want to watch an underrated player, that's who you should watch.
mhm.
I don't care what you think. Like
Yeah,
real hoopers know, like you respect him for what he does. So
for sure. He's past 90 feet, man. Not
yeah,
90
exactly.
feet. I'm guarding you 90 feet, and he's just a little
He's
engine that could.
exactly he's a pest. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing. I'm gonna annoy you and then keep annoying you, and I'm gonna make some plays because somebody's not being a pest to you. So now I'm getting under your skin, and then guess what? I can go get a bucket or two, but like I'm picking you up 94 feet. Hey man, yeah, if they don't win tonight, it's over. Tell them, MJ.
And so, yeah, man, this is the Indiana to New York series.
Yeah, uh-huh. Yeah, MJ.
That's definitely. Oh.
Hey
Well, you
man.
tell her here. Tell her. Here's your opportunity.
Yeah, tell him, MJ. Tell him. Get him. Talk your talk. Hit him with the ah blah blah blah.
Okay, man. So, but yeah, it seems a little closer, but it has been really one sided. Like Indiana's feels like the stronger team in that series,
Yeah,
and
right
maybe that's
now
because of Cat. Yeah.
they're playing the better as the overall team. Brunson's playing as the better player. It's Indiana's playing as a better team, but we've been saying that. Well, I've been saying that for the longest. That when it comes to Indiana, they're the better team, and they play team ball. That's how they win games, bro. So like, it's hard to really beat a good team. Like Indiana's not a terrible team, bro. That's the thing. They play team ball. Nobody tries to do more than what they have to. They all stay in their lane. So like, it is what it is. Next man up. Man, looking at you like, yep, it's over. Take me out of here.
He's tired. That's what it is.
Oh, I'm already knowing.
He's a little sleepy, and he's just crabby because he's sleepy. And so, anyway, I'm gonna talk with a calmer voice. Talking with my dad voice right now. Oh, he doesn't like it.
More like your white voice.
But
Yeah.
unfortunately, he's crabby. Uh, I did kind of want to talk about the W a little bit, but unfortunately, MJ has been interrupted the whole episode. Sorry. It's all good though, because he's here. He likes he's gonna be a part of these one day. So
We can talk
well,
about it a different time.
yeah, we'll end it there. Next episode, we'll probably get into the W, get into the Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese conversation that's been obviously rearing its head, especially after what I would refer to as a everyday foul was a flagrant one. I can see how it looked that way, but no one talks
Uh,
about Angel Reese shoving. Was that Alyssa Taylor? She shove? Who did she shove out there? No, it wasn't Alyssa Taylor. Alyssa Taylor choked her out last year, and she didn't get up with that same energy. But she had shoved one of the Fever player. I can't remember the young lady's name. Like seconds before, because you know how they do. People, shorten clips on purpose,
of course. You know
to make it
you
one sided.
you got to shorten stuff to get it, to get your clickbait, to get your people to argue, because like that's what
Yeah,
these people
it
want.
looked like a common foul to me. I get the shove kind of potentially being a
It
flagrant
it
one.
was it
She
was
was
the
definitely going for
follow
the
through.
ball. Yeah,
that's what
that's what
called
did
it
it.
flagrant. It was the follow through. It wasn't the initial foul because the initial foul, if she wouldn't have fully followed through, it was a
Hmm.
common foul. You could just been like Angel's momentum took her out of bounds. But
And she was flailing a little bit too, so
It
I can
was
see why
Caitlyn's.
Caitlyn pushed her because she was like,
It's Caitlyn's
yeah.
follow through, like fully follow through. That's what they call her.
But
Like
what is? I've read who I don't know where I
whatever.
seen it on Twitter. Or someone said the Angel Reese Caitlyn Clark beef is like if uh if Grogrich, who old boy from the Wizards, you know I can't say names with the G name, Gorat, Gor.
Goran.
There we go. Him and Kobe were beefing. That's what. That's what this. That's what this beef is like. It's like those two are rivals. What like? We did. I mean, we talked about it way early when we were talking about the unrivaled stuff. Angel Reese looks like she's done regressed, man. Even her own teammates are on the sideline, like literally yelling at her to pass the fucking ball
Bruh, she was determined to try to get a basket, and it was just like, bruh, John Quill Jones was just sitting there looking at her like bruh, you. And I don't even actually no, it wasn't even John Quill. It was one I forgot her name, but she's just standing there, bodied up with you, and you're just sitting there trying to keep going, bruh. You got three shooters out there out there
and
open.
everyone swarmed you already. She had 12
It was three
rebounds. Five of
people.
them came from one possession. That's crazy.
Exactly. And it was three people in the paint when you trying to do that. At that point, somebody's open. Kick it out, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. After the first attempt, cool. After you get that second rebound, bro, that should have been a kick out. Kick out should have been there. Like kick it out to the knockdown. Let's go. Instead, you got a point to prove. Oh, I'm gonna get this bucket. Man, come on now. That's not really you. Like
For sure. Like, yeah, it's uh we thought her practice with Lisa Leslie was going to turn something up, but she doesn't look offensively. She doesn't look great. Rebounding, she's still good. I mean, obviously, she's one of the best rebounders, and
she's a great rebounder.
we knew
It's
that she was going to be
just
one of the great rebounders in the
this
league.
is supposed to be the next step up in your elevate, in
Yeah,
your game,
Kayla Clark just out here
and it's
killing people, but they're down right now. They're playing Liberty.
hey,
Liberty's
hey, sh- hey,
the
hey,
returning champ.
shout out to B Hen. It was
Oh
like,
yeah,
yeah, Caitlin Clark, the third best player in the NBA already.
for real.
He said she's the GOAT already. How is she third in triple doubles of all time?
I mean, it's true.
And
I
she
mean,
ain't played 50
who
games.
who is it? The young lady that plays in Minnesota, I think, has 15.
Naphesia?
With the C last name.
Yeah, Fee.
Yeah, yeah. So
College.
she's got 15, and then I think it's Kelsey Plum at 4. No, Sabrina at 4, and then Caitlin tied for third with
Yeah.
the third most triple doubles all time with 3. So
Which,
basically, if by because she had 2 last year, so if she stays by that standard, she'll have
bruh,
2 this year. She'll
and
tie
not
Sabrina.
even not even 50 games and she's already third in triple doubles.
Yeah,
She's gonna end up leading. She'll have the record for triple doubles in the WNBA. It's coming soon.
I definitely think so.
Like it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
But seeing Paige out there, she ain't backing out from no, but she's so funny to me, man. Keep talking
Man, but
rap. She killing me, man. But
yeah, but
that's my dog,
that's how
though.
it that's the Hooper though. That's the city. We know that was gonna happen. It's
But
good looks.
yeah.
Shout out Jewel Lloyd though for the game winner last night though. Asia, I don't know. Asia Wilson out here ISOing niggas at the top of the key and throwing dimes to the corner for game winners. I thought it was awkward because like Asia got a little handle on her, but like she up in the middle and it was like and she threw a dime. I said, "Oh, okay," but it
Yeah.
just was awkward because she's 6'8", damn near 6'8", trying to dribble and like she got a little handle on her, but it was just
It
funny.
don't look the same as with the dudes. Like the six
Yeah,
eight
it just
guy,
yeah
it looks
yeah a six
smooth.
eight guy that looks smooth, a 6'8" woman that got a little handles
It
and
looks
breaking shit down. It
it
looks a
looks
little
like a baby
awkward.
giraffe out there.
That's what it looked like, but it was like she set it up perfect. So I was
Hey, but she
like,
did
that's
throw a
a
dime though. She threw a
and
hell of a
Dime
man.
and Jewel hit a
Knocked it
bucket,
down.
knocked it down game winner. Like, and that's what it is. I'm just, it just is. This season's gonna be a little bit interesting. So we gonna see though, cause like I kind of got it to be like I don't know, the Liberty looking real good right now. Like they might can repeat. They
Yeah,
might they might.
they're giving Indiana, man. I think is going to be a higher seed because they're
Yeah,
Caitlin's a year
Indiana's right.
older.
They up right now. Indiana, they
Yeah,
beating
they're beating
Indiana
Indiana
right now by 12.
by 12. Yeah, I guess it
Yeah, I'm
scored.
watching it right now too.
Or not, beating them by
But
10. They scored again.
yeah, yeah, they just scored in. But yeah, so we'll see. Yeah, the Fever got some more talent too. So like they'll definitely be a lot more competitive. I feel like so. Caitlin with another year under her belt and all that. I think Dallas will be. Dallas figures out their stuff. I think they'll be competitive, and then it's just all like okay. We know what Asia and them's gonna do, so it's just all on like how's the team gonna be feeling together, and then after that, it's like okay, cool, go from there. But like right now, the Liberty's looking real good. Like they're looking real good. And then, like I said, Fee and them, the Lynx are looking good too. So like we'll see. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, for sure. So it's they're getting news. They need to do better with this marketing. They started out strong to start the season. I know they're only 4 games in for some teams. So
Hmm.
they definitely need to continue to propel the league. They need to continue to put the money into marketing. I mean, obviously Asia needs to be somewhere in the forefront with CC because that's the best player in the NBA right now is Asia. 3-time MVP, 2-time champion, 2-time Finals MVP. So she definitely has
Got
earned
the
her spot.
accolades. She's
Yeah,
being
to be up
pushed.
there.
Like they're pushing her. It's just they need to push her. Then they need to push a couple other people as well.
All of
So
them,
like
push them all. I mean, get them
Like
out
you
there.
can
You
push
got your
the
new
young
faces,
stars.
and
Look,
get your
like
news and your
look what
old.
y'all
Yeah,
are doing. Y'all started marketing. Y'all were marketing your incoming players in college. Now you have gotten a couple games. Now you can push them as this, and they'll be good. So yeah, but I think it's gonna be interesting. But we can talk more I think during the week. So because there's a couple more games, there's a couple good matchups throughout the week. So
yeah. All right, Wolves. Come on, Ant. Don't make me have to text Mike. If I got to text Mike, it's gonna be a problem. So hopefully my Wolves pull it out. We'll see what goes on for the rest of the week. As always, thank you for joining us. Thanks for having MJ here. Now he's a sleeping baby. He's crabby, I guess, because he was sleepy. He wanted to talk it off. He's like his dad. When he gets sleepy, he gets super talkative.
mm.
So appreciate you guys sticking around even through the baby. And we will be back at another episode
in the words
soon.
of my in the words of my boy MJ.
I'll get with your mama. All right,
Exactly.
all right, y'all. Peace.
Yeah.